Alright, so I originally didn't want to do a comment response video on the Wendigoon video that I made about a week back, because, I don't want to make it look like I'm trying to beat a dead horse or try to make as much money out of this situation as possible, try to get those precious clicks, because that's not what I'm trying to do. I wanted to have a genuine discussion about something and then leave it there and just work on my next video. Which I have been doing, and I was going to do, but some horrible accusations have been leveled against me that I fucking will not take lying down, and I feel like I have to make some sort of public statement about it, because if this gets anywhere past that, horrible, just utterly horrible. Let's start with that, okay? Let's start with that accusation. People are trying to say that I groomed a 12-year-old. I don't know what evidence they have for that. I don't know what in the world they have to think that I've ever done that, because I haven't. I think it's just a straight up lie made to make me look bad over arguably the pettiest thing of all time. Like, you disagree with me about a video where I call out a random, true crime YouTuber? Come on, man. I don't know what you're trying to pull here. This is an obvious lie, and I would love for any of these people to try and give any evidence of the sort that I did something like that, because I absolutely didn't and would never. That is horrible. And trying to make fake accusations like that is disgusting. Especially because, I'm gonna say it, trans women can groom people, okay? Like, they can. Trans women are people, and people can sometimes be terrible. I know multiple trans women who have done grooming. And whenever you accuse somebody of that, accuse a trans woman of that, I've seen it multiple times before. People will say they are trying to be transphobic, that you're making up fake stuff just to make them look bad, like these people are trying to do to me. So what you are doing by pulling false accusations like this is that you are making real accusations of grooming and criminal activity towards trans women look worse. I can distinctly remember multiple times accusations towards people like Forlong, people who have been proven to be just genuinely disgusting people, who have done, rape. They've done rape, no way around it, and you call them out on that, and you get called transphobic for trying to say, oh, you're saying a trans woman is a groomer. What are you doing? You are making people get away with actual criminal activity by saying things like this. Okay, I need to be clear here. You are a terrible person for even daring to accuse somebody of something like that without any evidence. You are a monster. So we got that out of the way. Let's talk about some more minor things that people have brought up. The main thing that people have brought up towards that original video is I claimed in that video that there's a big disclaimer at the bottom of some of Wendigoon's most recent videos that, oh, it's for educational purposes, and therefore, I'm like, oh, well, if you're doing education, then you should be held accountable to educational standards. And people have said, hey, that's not to say, oh, I'm an educational YouTuber. It's to get away from YouTube taking down and demonetizing them. And I can see that. That's probably what he meant. There are other ways to get around that aren't calling it educational, I'll say, first of all. And second of all, that doesn't disprove my point that he gets facts wrong and then claims them to be true, and doesn't criticize that, and his fans don't criticize that, because I think if you get information wrong in any video, entertainment or educational, you should be able to criticize that. That should be available to criticize. And I think if it's educational or not, you should be able to call people out on that, because you still got information wrong. Second is that I'm trying to chase drama clicks. I'm trying to get views because my channel is so bad. I've gotten this accusation hundreds of times at this point. And, I think all YouTubers want views making videos about drama or not. I've actively made videos on things that I love, more clickbait than they should, because I want people to click on them. That's just what YouTubers do. And I will say, if I was trying to be like some sort of drama peddler bottom feeder, I would be making more than one video about like popular YouTube drama.
Podcast about Liz. There is a brand new restaurant.
Now, there's a difference between people who are...
The only other drama video I did was Patricia, and that's an incredibly obscure situation that I was personally involved with, that I unlisted because I got facts wrong in it. Maybe you could say the critical response too, but even then, like, I wasn't trying to say, oh, cancel this guy. I mean, I wasn't trying to cancel Wendigoon either, but, I was just like, oh, this video is dumb. And even then, that critical video is pretty flawed in its own right. The third accusation a lot of people tried to pull at me was they were trying to say, oh, it's weird for you to say that, like, Ted K is trans. Why are you trying to put this murderer on your side? And I want to be clear here that I don't agree with that statement, and I personally do not think that Ted K is trans. Okay, I was just saying, I was playing devil's advocate, and I state that in the video clearly. Here's the clip. I don't fully believe it, but I can absolutely make a case. All right, and I state that in the video. I was playing devil's advocate, but on a rewatch, I realized that doesn't really sound very clear, and I totally understand why some people would view it like that I was trying to make this serious claim that I genuinely thought Ted K was trans. No, I don't believe that, and I was just saying, it could be a possibility, and you can't fully cross it out because we don't know this person's history, and you can't make a full claim and then say, oh, well, I have multiple psychologists that proved this claim wrong, when you have like one that's really doesn't really have enough evidence to fully prove it. I'm sure they have more evidence because, they're an actual psychologist, but like that one example alone is not enough to say. And if Wendigoon did have more than one example, I couldn't find it, and that's why they should be citing their sources. People also said that because they had an interview with a person who worked on the Ted K case, then therefore, oh yeah, they did cite their sources. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. That's one source that doesn't explain all of the claims that he stated in the video, including, I have so many researchers that have said Ted K isn't trans. That is great. That's great journalism, and I totally respect Wendigoon for doing that. That's really cool. I also, I want to do interviews with people who are related to related to things that I talk about. But that doesn't cite all of your sources, and that doesn't explain all of the claims that you made. It explains probably a few of them, but not all of them. But that's good journalism, and I absolutely great work on that. I gotta applaud you. You should still cite your sources though. A lot of people also like to say that so many other essay channels don't cite their sources. Why aren't you getting mad at them? I'm also mad at them. They should also cite their sources. Like any video essay channel talking about a real topic, or hell, even fucking some fake topic that you try to make a concise claim on. Yeah, you should cite your sources. Absolutely. It helps a lot when doing your own research, and it helps us, fact check what you're talking about. It's super useful and allows us to, explore the whole thing. Sorry, this is from a different angle, and the mic is probably, way worse. I forgot to mention another critique that some people gave to me, which is that, apparently Wendigoon does not fully agree with the JFK video anymore and is trying to change it, which is great, and I really hope that he does. I just want to make sure that he gets as many facts correct about the JFK shooting as possible. And yeah, I do really, really hope that he changes it. And I'm happy that he realizes that it is flawed. I didn't know that when I made the video, but that does make me happy. I think he is on the right track. That's good. That means it's good. I also forgot to mention, some people were saying that, Wendigoon wasn't trying to say that the JFK conspiracy theory is true. The title of the video is literally, I proved the JFK conspiracy with a whiteboard. He says he proved it. He actively says in the video that this is what he believes and he thinks is true, okay? And he gets the information wrong, all right? There are some criticisms that are right against that original video. Some people said that the Boogaloo Boys, they did not fully want slavery to come back. That was not their original claim. That was a misunderstanding on my fault. Okay, they said like, a lot of the sources I found said that they wanted a second civil war, and that is, like, that's what I heard. Like, oh, second civil war, like, you know, like they're battling over slavery. But, you know, civil war is a very general term, and that was kind of me just being an idiot, and I'm sorry. It's still a very far-right extremist group, and multiple people have said that it's a very far-right extremist group, and Wendigoon actively lied about the origins of that group in order to make it seem less extremist. It was extremist from the start. People also said that, you know, I was accusing Wendigoon of being alt-right. No, I say that repeatedly in the video. He is not alt-right anymore. I do not believe that he is alt-right anymore. I believe that his politics aren't open enough for me to make any distinctive claim. I think that he was. I think that he used to be. That is the main point. The thing that I was criticizing him for was not, you know, holding those beliefs when he was younger because he was a dumb edgelord teenager. Like, whatever. You've changed, and I fully believe that he has changed. I was made uncomfortable by the fact that he lied about the origins and made it seem like he was the good guy, like trying to stand up for the common people, when really he was just one of like a million members of an already very far-right organization, and just spreading misinformation about the like origin of that organization for no real reason outside of making himself look better, and that made me very uncomfortable. I don't believe that he still holds those beliefs. I would never claim anything like that, but he still did, you know, lie about that in his apology, and I didn't like how so many people took his words at face value when they were so obviously not true. A lot of people also said, you know, oh, this doesn't matter. Like, whatever. He's a funny YouTube guy. I don't give a shit. And yeah, sure, you don't need to care. You don't. You don't need to care. It's just something that I noticed and I wanted to talk about. That's all that matters, because that doesn't, like, debunk any of my points saying that it doesn't matter. He still, you know, spread misinformation, and that does matter to some people. It might matter to some people who do watch his content. Even if it doesn't matter to you, that doesn't mean it doesn't matter at all. No matter how minor a complaint is, it is still a complaint, and, like, it is constructive criticism. It's not like me purposely trying to ruin his life. It's just like, hey, here's some things you're doing wrong, and I would like you to improve and start, you know, making better with it. Cite your sources and be more thoughtful about what you're reading and what you're spreading. Like, you might not personally care, but multiple people in my comment section said they were fans of Wendigoon, watched my video, and thought, hey, maybe he should cite his sources. But I still like Wendigoon. You know, I like his content, I like his personality, I like his demeanor. But, you know, he's flawed, like most humans are, and I think that he can improve. And that's my take, too. I think he is probably an all-right guy. He just, not alt-right, all-right. He's an all-right guy, not alt-right. Don't fucking twist words. I think he's an all-right guy. He just has room to improve, and I would like to criticize him for that. He is not, like, I'm not trying to cancel him over this. I'm trying to say, hey, here's some things you do wrong. Here's what you can do to improve them. I really hope that you can be a better content creator, because, you know, that's all I want. That's all I'm asking. All I'm asking is, you know, hey, here's some things I noticed. Listen up, buddy. I really don't care if you personally, like, don't really give a shit about it. Like, you don't need to give a shit about it. Hell, like, and I especially don't want people to try and attack Wendigoon for it and try to make him, like, quit his job and try to stop making YouTube videos, because, like, no, he doesn't deserve that for just kind of sometimes getting things wrong in his videos and not citing his sources well enough, and also, you know, not really making a good apology for stuff he did when he was a teenager. That's not what I want and never what I wanted. I state that multiple times in the video. And if you're trying to say that I wanted that, you're actively making a, like, overly critical and hyperbolic assumption out of me that I was never trying to state in the first place. The video was constructive criticism. It was not me trying to ruin his life or anything. I was just like, hey, here's some things you can improve. That's all that matters. There are some people who did have pretty good criticisms of the video, and I would like to apologize for, you know, some of the dumb things I said. I already mentioned the Boogaloo thing, but my original thumbnail on that video was pretty stupid and misleading and very obviously clickbait, and I did change that in order to be better. And, yeah, that's all I'm trying to say, If these people could give me constructive criticism and I could change it and realize they weren't trying to make a purposeful attack towards me, because, they were very obviously kind and not giving me, like, transphobic slurs and trying to say that I groomed a 12-year-old like some other people were, I can understand that they're just trying to make my content better. And I took that criticism the best way I could and changed it, because that's all that matters and that's all I want Wendy Coon to do. Okay? Is that enough? All right, we're done with this forever. I'm not going to talk about this again. I'm not trying to, make a big deal out of this, because it's not what it needs to be. It's just when people are trying to call you a groomer, you don't want that, especially if it's obviously a lie. I have my next video planned. It's already mostly written. I have guest stars already sent in their voice, and it's coming up down the pipeline. It should be out in the next week. It's coming. Where the fuck is it? My next video's coming out soon, okay? It's coming out soon. I'm talking about Southland Tales. I'm doing it. I'm doing my big Southland Tales analysis. It's at this point, like, I think at 10 pages. It's fucking huge. I'm gonna understand Richard Kelly's weird disaster piece. See you then next time. No more talking about drama, okay? Thanks.